Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's my opponent to go first. I do not have a good rack. I've only got one vowel. I've got a duplicate N, and it's a fairly clunky collection of consonants, but it's probably not bad enough to change. If I was going first, I probably would change because I can't see any great plays. Maybe Pont, leaving BLN would be better than changing, but only just. So I'm hoping to play off as many of these tiles as possible, including resolving the duplicate N. My opponent's taking a while with his opening move. I wonder if he has a blank. Bon would be a three-letter play, but the problem with that is I would be keeping four consonants, and that's not great. And Plot keeps duplicate N, which is no good. Ponton is good. I could play that through a floating O. Now I probably will play through a floating vowel, so I can consider those vowels now. Panton is good. That would leave BL. Can't see anything through the E. Blent. Not sure about Blent. I think it's good. Right, okay, so the choice is now between changing or playing Pont, keeping BLN. Pont, 12 points. Yeah, I think that probably is better than changing. I'd rather keep the P than the B, but I can't see a way of playing the B with the N. Well, maybe I should have changed. That's pretty poor. I note that my opponent changed 3 tiles, so he probably is close to a bingo. Blot is playable, but that leaves duplicate N. So maybe I should change on this rack. Well, this is quite a grim and slow start to the game. One advantage of a slow start of this nature is that with your opponent using up so much time, he could be in time trouble later. And I don't see anything. Well, I'm just wondering about playing over the top of bar. I could play knob, ob and bap. I think that probably is better than changing. 20 points keeping LN double T. Actually, I am going to change. I think that's a pretty low score and a pretty rubbishy leave. And there's nothing I wish to keep. And this looks far more fun. I've got the U with the Q, and I've also got the X. I don't have a bingo, but what I'm looking for now is 2 reasonably high scoring plays. Oh, I have just noticed that my opponent played AP, which is a phony, so that's poor on my part not to have spotted it. Now I do have the Q, which can go over the I of Rumi, but it's far better to place my X over that. I can play XO. Just checking my opponent hasn't played any phonies. I'll have to keep a close eye on him after AP. That's not good, not knowing your two-letter words. So 44 points for XO. I draw the blank, but I've got the V and the F and the Q, so I'm not going to be bingoing this go, and possibly not next. Although I've got the U. Well, the U helps the Q a lot. QU is actually a positive combination to keep, so I don't have to play off the Q as soon as possible. Now with the F and the V, maybe if I can play off both of those, it might be better to do that than playing off the Q. I have a 12-point lead. I've no idea if my opponent is close to a bingo or not. So is there anywhere on this board to play off my V and F? My F goes at D12 in front of O to make faux. So I could play Fed, but I'm reluctant to keep the Q with the V. That is a very unsynergetic combination. And I don't have any Q words despite having the U. My opponent changes. Now I could put my V at D12. Do I want to do that? Then I'd be keeping the F with the Q. I'd only be scoring 12 points. I'm thinking about changing V, D and F, keeping Q, U, E blank. And I think I will. So changing D, F and V. This is a good rack leave. And I have an extra vowel to play with, so I should be able to play off my Q this go. I've got Quin and Quine. And I've got the J, which could go at D12, so I could play Gin in that spot. Through an R or a G, I could have Jerking. So there are bingos with J and Q in them. Now, having said I've got Quin and Quine, I'm wondering if there is anywhere to play them. Yes, there is. Now, I have a choice. I can play in... I'm looking in column 13, and I can play Quin, High and X on, or I could play Gin in the same spot. So if I play Quin, I keep J, E blank, and I score more. Well, there probably isn't very much in this. So Quin, 42 points. And this looks pretty good. Jet Plane, I think, has left us. It used to be good. It's either Jet Plane or Jet Liner, which has gone. I think it's Jet Plane. I certainly won't be trying it. I'm wondering if there are any other 7 or 8 letter bingos available with this rack. And if there isn't, where can I score? I've got Jap as a short J word. Now I could play Jeet or Jet at E4 or 5. Quin's, I note for future reference, takes a Y after it. That's future reference in this game. It's a good idea when your opponent makes a play to immediately consider what hooks they've made available. And roomies will take a T. So, is there anything better than jet? Jet is not bad. It'll score about 25 to 30 points, 26 points. Doesn't open much for my opponent, and the rack lead of ANP blank is fine. Yeah, I can't see any other opportunities. Now this must be a bingo-y or a bingo rack. So I have taipans at F14 down, also making roomiest. It's got 3 anagrams. Great, my opponent has changed. I'm 50 points ahead and I'm about to bingo, so this is where I start to create a lead, which hopefully I can hang on to. Taipans doesn't score a huge deal. It doesn't hit any double or triple word squares, so I'm wondering if there is a better spot. Trap takes an S after it, but row I think it also has no double and triple letter squares. Now Pont will take an S, so I could play a word beginning with S, coming down from H11. So, do I have one? I'm just mentally running through the alphabet for the blank. Salpian is good. Great. It does take an S after it, I think. So I'll just consider the rest of the alphabet. No, I can only see Salpian, and this is going to be better than taipans and roomiest. It's going to score more and be less dangerous. If Salpian does take an S, it opens up row O, but taipans would have opened up column 15 for an overlapping play, which wouldn't require an S. So Salpian and Ponce for 73. And I draw a host of vowels, but it includes the tiles I need to play Veit at A14 down for a big score. Now hopefully my opponent's going to be distracted by all the floaters in Salpian. Veit would leave double AE, which isn't a terrific lead, but it is going to score a lot. Okay, well let me just confirm that Salpians is good. Yep. Well, I still have a 24-point lead before this go, and Veit is 44 points. That's a big score. Ooh, 6 vowels again. I doubt that I'll be able to score another 44 points. My opponent challenges. So, what can I do with this rack? My opponent changes again. I can play Oleic at K5 down, leaving double AE again. That is going to be better than changing 14 points. Do I have anything else? Just looking to see if there was an N for Aeolian. But there isn't. And I'm also wondering if I can play parallel to Salpian. I've got AIA as a playable word. I could play that at I12, but it doesn't hit the double word square. Only 9 points as well, which isn't very good. So is Oliek the best I can do? £14, is that really better than changing when I'm keeping double AE? I don't think it is. And if it is, it's only by a small amount. Ah, well, there is a better play. I can play Anole across here. Keeps AEI, which means no duplicates, and it's 18 points, and I think that tips the balance in favour of playing it. And I draw the blank, and I have a great set of tiles. There's going to be plenty of bingos available here, and it's a fairly open board. Anole takes an S after it, and High takes a D and an S at D15. So I've got Dearies and Hyde, and Dearies and Anole. Dearies and Reddies both take a T after it, so I'd probably look for a better play if I was pluralising Anole. Great, that makes life easy. Now, can I start one square higher up? Or even two squares higher up? I don't know how to turn this E back to a blank. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if I start at B15, I can still reach the triple letter square, but my move would have to begin SE. Okay, that's not going to work. I don't then... Well, S, E, D or S, and there isn't a word. And there isn't a play beginning with N, which is the other hook for Chi. Now looking at the hooks for UT, there's A, E, S and U. So do I have a play beginning AD? No. Or AS? No, I don't think I do. So a play beginning with ES? No. Play beginning US? No. Okay, well, let's go back to my original plan. Actually, since the D is a blank, I'm going to score more by playing a word beginning with S. Let's put this back to being a blank. So Semia works and doesn't provide any hooks. And that's 79 points. This is fairly balanced, but I have duplicate E, duplicate I. I don't have a bingo. The F is not a bingo-y tile, but it's a good scoring tile. And the board is becoming slightly tight apart from around Salpian. And as I have a 150 point lead, I'll be looking to close down the Salpian opportunities. Row I is also an opportunity for my opponent to play a word hooking trap, but if he does so, he's likely to open up the triple word square at H1. So I should be able to get a good score in reply and close down the board. My opponent, being 160 points behind, really needs 2 bingos, and I should be able to prevent that happening. So what do I have with the board as it is at the moment? Def-I is good. I'm just noting that. I don't see anywhere to play it. Fidge is good. I could play that through the eye of Salpian. 20 points. It would leave me with 3 vowels, which isn't good. Having said that, look at the tiles that are left. There are 29 in the bag, 7 on my opponent's rack, but they include only 2 A's, 2 E's and 2 I's. So the bag is pretty consonant heavy. There are 11 vowels out of 36 tiles. So 11 vowels, 25 consonants, about 2 to 1 in favour of consonants. And that's worth noting because it impacts on how you evaluate a rack leave, particularly an all vowel rack leave in this particular instance. I've got just under 10 minutes left, and so has my opponent. I could play if at K12 down. That would prevent the all vowel leave and score 24 points and obstruct the floaters in Salpians. Can't see much else going on this board. FIE would probably leave the best rack leave. Can't see anywhere great to play that. The Quincy play is still available. I note that both Ys are still unseen. Okay, great. My opponent only scores 3 points. That is wonderful to see. So, and he's also not opened up anything. If for 24 points. And this looks pretty good. I don't think there is a 7-letter bingo. There's probably quite a few 8s. There would be N girded and N ridged through an N. But looking at the floaters, there's the L of Salpians. I don't have a bingo ending with an L. And there's not much else in the way of bingo opportunities, so it ought to be possible to strangle this game now. Okay. Re-gilded, splendid. Pretty sure this is good. Now, you shouldn't play a move as soon as you see it, but it's requires quite a lot of willpower sometimes. Now, re-gilded. Yeah, I can't see anything through the O, and there are no other floaters. Are there any anagrams of re-gilded? Don't think there are. And that's pretty good. I have got the Y for Quincy. So I could play Yum and Quincy. 31 points, that's good. Always good to score more than 30 points. It's a psychological critical number, I think. Sort of feels like it's half a bingo. Now, I do have the Y for Quincy. There's also A1 to think about. 11 tiles left in the bag, 7 on my opponent's rack. Just wondering if I have a good play beginning at A1. Well, it doesn't play there, but I note that I have got outlay on my rack. I certainly don't want to miss a bingo, no matter how much you're in the lead. Missed bingos always hurt. Okay, I can't see any bingos. Total isn't a great leave at all, but it does have a mix of vowels and consonants, so I am going to be able to play next go. without changing. Yum, 31 points. Talayot is good, and that's playable at I1. Wow, that'll be great if it stays available. Pretty sure it's good. Talayot. Well, I hope I'm not imagining that into existence. In a live game, I would probably be writing this on a bit of paper to hidden from my opponent to contemplate. Talayot. Well, if it's not good, I'm confusing it with something very, very similar. Let's see if this stays on. If it does, I have the final 6 tiles in the bag. And I have 2 vowels. And I'm anxiously waiting to see if this is challenged off. I'm not completely confident with it. Yeah, I think I'm going to challenge that off. Right. Okay, my opponent probably is anxious for this game to end. So although I've got 6 minutes, because I'm so far ahead and because I'm playing online, I'm going to try and play it quite quickly. Actually, let's just play a fun word. I'm sure this is suboptimal, but it is a nice word. Kidult. And that leaves just the M, which I hope I can play in a few places. I can play Wem at C3, 16 points. I can play and Ma at H4. For 14 points. That's fine, let's just play this to get it over with. Just waiting for my opponent to formally end the game. Let's get ready to thank him as soon as he does. I must say that app was a shocking oversight. It's so annoying when you let phonies go by. When you're playing on a face-to-face game, where what happens is that as your opponent is making his move, you are observing the words that are made, and you're then writing down the words and the score. So you have 2 opportunities to identify phonies, and you just get into a habit of picking them up during that phase. It's just slightly different online, and you need to be extra diligent to avoid letting them slip through. And occasionally I am not as diligent as I should be, and in this instance I let app through. Okay, my opponent has got 5 minutes left. I'm thinking about just pausing the video. I don't have 5 minutes of chat in me while I'm waiting for him to finish the game, so I'll put you on pause. And welcome back. My opponent did not formally end the game, so his clock ran down. He went 1 minute over time and forfeited the game, incurring a 10-point penalty. So the final score, 262 to my opponent, 583 to me, a winning margin of 321 points. So a massive victory. Let's see what I missed. Great, app was the only phony. So here I had bop or pont being suggested. I think pont is far more sensible than bop. And, well, very low scoring plays, and a lot of the ones being suggested there retain 2 ends, which isn't good. Exode for 50. Wow. Okay, well that's in the same spot as I played EXO. Scores 6 more points, probably is worth doing. And here I could have played Feud at D12, but that burns the U and keeps QV, so that's not good. Yeah, I think all of those plays are problematic, so the change was fine. Queen for 42, yep, that was my play. And here there wasn't anything better than Jet, I'm surprised. Yeah, a lot of bingos here, but Salpian scored the most. Look at the second one down there, Papanes. That's quite unusual. I haven't seen that before. And here Vite, yep, 44 points. That's best. And Anil looks like it was best here. Plenty of bingos here. Semia, Serai Ema, and Seri8 were the highest scoring. Deific, that's nice. At J5, I see down onto the sea of Caudals. This is where I played if, keeping DWEEGI. Well, Deific would have been better. And I guess I was pretty fortunate to have regilded, because this rack isn't great and there weren't many floaters. And why go, or ego, at N6? Oh right, I see, putting the Y immediately before the G of goo. 31 points, but the rack leave, keeping 2 T's and a U is not great. So yum is better. And this is a fabulous word, talayot. It's an obscure word, and it's nice with these obscure words when you get the opportunity to play them, because it could well be a long time before I get to play this word again, if ever. And finally, well, here I wasn't looking for the best play, but I could have got 27 for mid. Let's just see if there's anything better than Wem. There was Web. Ah, that's my opponent's rack. Hold on. Yeah, Wem was the highest scoring. Okay, well that was a slightly unusual game. It got off to a slow start, and I did change my tiles on a couple of occasions, which is fairly rare. But there was a good crop of bingos in that game, and quite unusual ones with Talayot and Salpian, and it was a massive win by 300 points, which is satisfying in itself. So I hope that was fun to watch, and that maybe you saw some things which can help you with your game. So thank you for watching. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.